Hello, everybody. Welcome to NFTV. We are live. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing all right. So something a little bit different. I wanted to come up with this idea for the very first time for about 3 years. I watched the Sunderland game when they played Peterborough whilst I was working from home yesterday. And as I was watching it, the game ended 1-1. I was thinking to myself, I don't have many of these players here. Now, before the Mackhams jump on and give me some stick, this is not a slandering video. I wanted to actually go through the Sunderland squad and see how many players that I actually know. Because let's face it, we all want the Tyne-and-Wear derby back. We all want to be playing against Sunderland. We all want us winning. The Sunderland side want themselves winning. We want it to be epic, the build-up, the week. We all miss it. Whatever you think, that could actually be a realistic target next season if Sunderland get promoted and we go down. It really could be, because let's face it, they're not far off getting promotion. We're not far going down the table and relegated. So I wanted to have a look at it. I also put it on my personal Twitter. How many players do general fans know in question about Sunderland players? Some of them were Mickey taken, as you would expect. Some of them being serious. Some of them didn't know. So to make sure, we'll go through them. And we'll also have a look at the league table as well. So welcome to the latest video on NFTV. Smash that like. Or if you're Mackham, maybe dislike it. It does help anyway. It does push up the algorithm, so thank you very much. If you are wondering what our YouTube membership is, click on the join button. There's a video there where you can have a look at what we're all about. Keep your comments coming, because I will be reading some of them out very, very shortly. And as ever, thank you very much for watching. We've just got a couple coming through. Sam has just asked, does Michael Proctor still play it for Sunderland? Is he scoring at the right end of the goal? That's a question. Because I remember, didn't he score like a couple in quick concession when Sunderland conceded 3 own goals? I'm sure they did. And Ollie said, Vike, McGeady, Power, Sanderson, that's about it. Really interesting, because I want to test my knowledge. I haven't looked at the Sunderland squad. I've got it open, but I haven't looked at it. But first, let's take a look where they are currently in the league table, because I wanted to bring this up. I've got the Twitter feed open, so I'll switch that around. So here we are. This is where Sunderland are currently in the league table. Look, I don't think Portsmouth are going to catch them. There's only 8 games left. It's 2 out of the top 3. Sunderland have got a game in hand on Peterborough, and they've also got 2 games in hand on Hull. They could quite easily finish top of the league, promoted as champions of League One, and then playing us potentially if we go down. So they're doing all right in this season. Now, this is the 3rd season. They should never be in League One, but this season they do much better, because they were drawing too many games in the last couple of seasons and just weren't coming up. They were hovering around the playoffs. Yes, they've had a little bit of success in the Papa John's Trophy, which our under-23s played. And that was the last time I actually watched a Sunderland game, is when they defeated our under-21s. It was about 3 years ago when they won. It was 0-0 at half-time, but then the end of the game, they won 4-0. That was the last time I watched Sunderland. So a lot has changed since that game to currently now. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's take a look. This is the tweet. If you're not following us, why aren't you? At Lee at NFTV on Twitter. I asked the question last night because I knew I was doing this video. How many Sunderland players can you name off the top of your head? So there's some funny questions, funny answers in here. So Martin, who's obviously part of NFTV, the only one for me is Will Grigg, just because my mate is a Wigan supporter. That's it. And then Liam's replied, I think it's at MK Dons that now. So I wouldn't even known that. I would have thought that Will Grigg was in the Sunderland squad, but obviously I would have known once I've looked at the squad, if that makes sense. Let's take a look down. Niall Quinn, obviously that's a joke question. I mean, Quinn and Phillips were phenomenal up top. They were, whatever you say as a Toon fan, they were. And these are going back, way back. Moncur, Robson, Gibb, Guthrie, Anderson, 2 more, Pop Robson, Dave Young. So I was referring to more current Sunderland. Dave said a lot more now than I could 24 hours ago after watching their game yesterday. Billy Hughes, Bobby Moncur, struggling after that, says Paul. Probably 8 or 9 of them. I see what he's done there. Very clever. Zatchet. I'm probably guessing 9's a player. 0 says Marcel Limpo, Max Power, and McGeady. There is 2 that I do know, which will go through the squad. Super Kev, Claudia Reina, His son is currently playing for Borussia Dortmund while he's on the bench, isn't he, tonight in the Champions League? Not sure of his name, but they've got that fat lad up front, the King or something, Burger King, I think. Stephen's obviously taking the Mickey. McGeady, Watts Sunderland, McGeady, Gooch, O'Nine, Power, and Vike, Mickey Gray, going back in time. And then we've got Vike, McGeady, Matthews, Javier Manquillo, and does Sunderland still have a football team? Max Power, he's the man. Adam Johnson, Ratboy, Mr. Disco, Nell Quinn. And there's you can get the general idea. Some people are being serious. Some people are Mickey taken just a little bit. So that was the league table and the tweets as well. Howard Gale says the Toon review. About 10 of them. About 10 of them says Azzy. Max Power because he's the only because of Homer Simpson. I think Max Power was Max Power not a magazine or something, like a car magazine or something in the early, like late 90s, early 2000s? I'm sure he was. Is Kevin Phillips still playing as striker? Right, here again then. Moment of truth. Shall we have a look how much I personally know about the Sunderland squad? And this isn't a Mickey take. This is me being genuine, seriously here. This is the Sunderland squad that I've got from Wikipedia. And we'll go through how many players I actually really do know. Not Mickey taken here. Lee Burge, signed from Coventry. Don't know. He's played 22 games this season, 28. Remy Matthews, an English footballer, plays for Sunderland, but he's got a French name. Signed from Bolton. I don't know who he is. The two academy players, I'm never going to know who the academy players are, but Lee Burge is the first team player. Let's click on his profile. There's not even a picture of him on Wikipedia, but yeah, I didn't know who he is, to be honest with you. Played at Coventry, played at Nuneaton, born in Hereford, 28. Don't really know him, to be honest. Great first name, mind. Let's take a look at the defenders. Conor Mcglocklin is a Northern Irish international footballer, is he? I didn't know much about McGlocklin. I've seen mentioned a couple of times on Twitter, but I don't know the ins and outs of him. I don't know if he's any good, if he's poor. He's a right back. Northern Ireland looks like he plays regularly. 43 caps, 1 goal. Where else has he played at? Millwall, Fleetwood. 29, experienced. I don't watch many Northern Ireland games, but I can't really say that I know much of him. He sounds very experienced though. Tom Flanagan, is he another one? Another Northern Irish lad? Signed from Burton. Experienced again, 29, born in Hammersmith, but plays for the Northern Ireland. Signed 2018. Just 5 caps for Northern Ireland, so maybe he's not a regular. Again, I didn't know who he is. Who else we got in here? Jordan Willis. Don't know who he is. Signed from Coventry. Don't know who he is. Bailey Wright, New Zealander. Is he an international? Australian, sorry, I didn't have my flags. That's now going to be cropped up, isn't it? 24, yeah, so it looks like he's a regular for Australia. Bailey Wright. I can't even pronounce. Well, Dion Sanderson, on loan from Wolves. So he must be a young lad, is he? Again, I didn't really know much about him. I can't even pronounce that. What is that? Arbinit Examali? Have I pronounced that right? Kosovan. Just 1 appearance this season. That's probably why I didn't know him. Callum McFadzean, a left back signed from Plymouth. 3 appearances for Sunderland. Is he a new signing? I didn't really know. Scottish. Must be a new signing in 2020, so he must have only been at the club a short while. Fairly new signing anyways. Who else we got? Max Power. Obviously, we'll come on in a minute. I've just seen his name there. Denver Hume. Is he Ashton lad? Just up the road. Is he a Geordie? Well, I say Geordie. Does he support Newcastle? Does he support Sunderland? A lot of games there. Left back. 5'10". Again, I didn't really know who he is. Ollie Younger Academy. Looks like a young player. Signed for Burnley. Brandon Taylor and Patrick Almond. I'm never going to know who they are in amongst the academy. I should know now going forward, midfield and forwards, hopefully. Max Power, I do know because he signed from Wigan and he's got that name. 9 goals from 98 appearances. Is he a goal scorer? Doesn't look like it. What's that? 1 in 10. What's his abilities? I don't know too much, but I know of his name. Chris Mcguire, I do know. And the only reason why I know Chris Mcguire is because he scored from just outside the box when he cut in against the under-21s when we played them, when they beat the kids 4-0. That's how I know Chris Mcguire, because he's running off celebrating. 32, 25 goals from nearly 100 appearances signed from Bury. That's 1 in 4. That's a decent rate, I guess, if you're a midfielder, whatever division you are. George Dobson, don't know much about this lad. Versatile midfielder, centre midfielder, centre back. Haven't played a lot in the youth. Currently out loan at Wimbledon, is he? Yeah. Again, I don't know who he is. Lyndon Gooch, I do know who he is. Lyndon Gooch, because he's obviously, American, and he's got satellite TV. That's what I will say about Lyndon Gooch. And I think he was on loan at Gateshead. So I do know who Lyndon Gooch is. If I'm right in saying, Lyndon Gooch nearly left Sunderland, didn't he? And this was probably going back a year or two back, but he stayed at the club. He's been out on loan at Doncaster as well. A few caps for the US of A. So I do know Lyndon Gooch. Luke 09, which a couple of people have mentioned in Twitter. I don't know him personally. Is he in Northern Ireland? It sounds like he's Irish or something. Hemel Hempstead. Been at Sunderland for a while now. 104 league appearances. Midfielder and defender. Again, I don't know who he is. Josh Scowen, if I pronounced that right. Signed from QPR. 28. Again, I don't know who he is. Elliot Emberton from the Academy. Don't know who he is. Jack Diamond. Don't know who he is. Grant Ledbetter. Of course, I do know who he is. Obviously, he's played in the Premier League for the Mackhams and for Middlesbrough. Born in Chesley Street, which is about 7 miles away from here. So, yeah, I know who Grant Ledbetter is. A little bit surprised he went and joined Sunderland a couple of years ago, going down to League One, but maybe he loves the club. Maybe he loves it inside out. So I do know Grant Ledbetter. Once I finish the midfielders, I'll check up on your comments as well, by the way. I'll have a look, see how many you know. Dan Neal, Academy player, don't know who he is. Carl Winchester, Northern Ireland International. 1 appearance, signed from Forest Green. Don't know much with him. Aiden O'Brien is obviously the big one. Everybody knows who he is. Former Ireland International with a strong Scottish accent. 35 now. There was a stage where he was literally going to be kicked out of the club, where he didn't play for like months on end. Was that earlier this season or was it last season? I'm sure of that. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. Signed from Everton, 22 appearances, 86, and he scored the free kick against Peterborough. Still very surprised. Still a fantastic player at this level at League One. He should be playing at a higher level. But I think everybody knows who McGeady is. He's probably, would you say he's their best player? Let me know in the comments. Who else we got? Kieran Dunn, signed from Falkirk, 21. Don't know who he is. Jack Hackett, Academy player. Sam Weldon, 1 appearance, 21. Vinny Steels, signed from Burnley, 19. Stephen Vern hasn't played yet, and Josh Hawkes as well. We'll have a look at the forward line very, very shortly. So Geordie's just said the only one I know is Lyndon Gooch from Gateshead. The only player I know Max Power is Homer Simpson, I think. Obviously, the joke with Homer Simpson going around. Hello to you, Volks, as well. Hope you're doing good. Liking this, guys. Loving the banter. Well, Gary, I'm not meant to be like taking the piss. I'm being genuinely seriously. A lot of them I just didn't know. I didn't watch them. I mean, are they live much? Probably not. That's probably why. Is there an evening highlight show? Because it used to be, the championship used to be on ATV, and then Channel 5 had it, Quest. I don't know who's got it now, to be honest. Thomas says evening, everybody, as well. Let's go to the striker, shall we? So we'll have a look. You would imagine that I should know a lot more of these strikers. Charlie Wake. Now, Charlie Wake, I only knew this season. I know he's been at the club for a couple of years. Middlesbrough lad, started off in the academy, and he signed in 2018. When the first time I seen his name was the first time I came across him, but I didn't know who he was. I took much notice of him, was when we played the under-21s. However, this season I've known more of him because on Twitter, you've seen him scoring a lot of goals. I think he's got 26, 27. I might be wrong on that. In the league, he's flying. Big, strong, strapping lad, holds the ball up, can head the ball well. That's what I gathered anyway yesterday. But that was the first time I've seen him in the 21s, but didn't know much of him. Didn't know if he's played for them ever since I watched in the 21s. And he's scoring the goals, and he's the one who might fire Sunderland back into the Championship. So I do know him. Aiden O'Brien. They've got a lot of Irish and Northern Irish players, haven't they? I don't know how much, but this lad, one goal from 12 appearances. This one, Benjamin Mbanga Kimyapoka. Benjamin Mungamba, I can't even say it now. Benjamin Mbunga Kimpionka is a Swedish forward. Now, I think I recognise him because I think, if I'm right in saying, he also played, I'm sure he did, in the under 20. Did he play in the under 21 game? There's someone with, I'm sure he did, because I'm getting confused with someone who had the bleached blonde hair, and Doi or someone in midfield. I was getting him confused. So he's a Swedish under 21 international. I think I know who he is. So Will Grigg is at Sunderland. So he is. So one of the comments on Twitter said before that he was on MK Dons. So he's still technically, he's on loan at MK, but he's still, and again, another Irish/Northern Ireland international. So he's currently on loan, obviously with the out on loan at MK Dons, 3 goals from 11 appearances. He costs more than Fabian Schär. I mean, there was a joke going around a couple of years ago with that. But yeah, Will Grigg, is he on fire? Not so much anymore. When was the last time he played for Northern Ireland? So he was in the Euros, but didn't play. Didn't even play a single minute. So Will Grigg we know, but he's out on loan at MK Don. So there's another one. Jordan Jones, another one who's Northern Ireland international. Rangers on loan coming from. I don't know if he's any decent. Ross Stewart, I don't know. Mitchell Curry, I don't know. Mitchell Curry's quite young. Ross Stewart, I don't really know from him. And there's all the transfers that they've signed this season. So there's been quite a few of them. A lot of them, like I say, I don't really know. Loans in. How many loans do I know out? Yeah, except for the ones I've covered. Transfers out. Do I remember anyone from last season? There's nobody springing to mind here. Kyle Lafferty. Now Kyle Lafferty is Northern Ireland international. So we know who he is. John McGlaughlin. No, I don't know who he is. I thought he was the right back who had great hair. It's not him. Duncan Watmore. I can't say it now. Duncan Watmore. He got his degree in Newcastle Uni. I'm sure he did. And played for Middlesbrough. He played for Middlesbrough. Yes, I know who he is. Who else do I know? Jay Turner Cook, I know, because we've got him now at Newcastle. He's the son of the dad kicked off because he was sacked. He kicked off on Twitter because his dad was just let go after 30-odd years of service. I think it was a physio. And Danny Graham, of course, as well, because he's from Gateshead. So I know quite a few of them who have left the club, but not so much who are currently there at the minute. But there you go. That is my knowledge of literally Sunderland. And like I say, Sunderland fans, if you're jumping on, not taking the mickey, that's me being really genuine. Ledbetter is a boyhood Mackem. Defenders, sort of Grant Hanley. Literally none of them anymore, says Ryan. Don't really know any of them, says Thomas. And Mitchell Curry was at loan at Gateshead last season. So there's probably out of that squad, maybe a quarter that I know of. And that goes to show you how much Sunderland have gone down the leagues throughout the year and stayed there. And this next season will be their 5th season outside the top flight, even if they get promoted. I mean, we could still play them, but do you want the Tiny Weir Derby back? Because really, Newcastle fans, really in the Premier League, we haven't really got a rival as such. Villa fans to some extent because of the sub on the time ×2. Leeds is the nearest game, which is like an over an hour drive away. That's not a derby. But it's one of them, isn't it? It's better the devil you know with Sunderland. Do you want them there? Do you not want them there? But that's it. I thought I'd bring something totally different for you tonight. That is it. That's how much of my knowledge I know about Sunderland. Have a go at it. I'll put a link in the description if you want to have a go at yourself. Let us know how many players you know in the comments down there below. Have a good evening, everyone. Watch what you're doing. Bye-bye.